I just wanted to go through how you can post better Craigslist ads so they don't just look like a bunch of small text and then you have the 4 tiny little Craigslist pictures down at the bottom that no one can see anyway. This is kind of what I'm talking about, this style of ad. As you can see, I've brought my my respond via text over here to the left-hand side. I've colored it blue. I've actually taken the text, the title of the ad, and placed it in the center and increased the size, along with some other text, which are all separated and centered. And then I have these images that are a lot larger. And they're also centered and they all are spaced, and there's a whole bunch of them. So you can really load as many images as you want. It just might take a little bit longer for your ad to load if somebody clicks on it. For the most part, it makes your ad stand out a lot more than any other ad, especially if you're trying to sell, for instance, a car or something, that there's a billion of that same car on Craigslist. If you want your ad to look better and people to notice your ad, you're gonna want bigger pictures. So when you're creating an ad in Craigslist, you have this edit window, which you use to edit your title and your price and the location. And this little text box right here is where you'd input all the text on your ad, and then you're going to click this little button down here to add or edit images for Craigslist to use. But what I like doing is not even using this add images down here. And I'll get to the images more in a second, but basically I'll start from the top here. The phone number, if you remember, was off to the left-hand side, and it was blue colored. So you have these HTML tags here. This tag, as you can see in these brackets, is called font, the font tag, and then the value there that I'm changing is blue. So I'm writing basically an opening bracket and a closing bracket, and inside there you're going to put font color equals, and then in quotes, and it has to be in quotes, any color you really want. I chose blue just because that's the default Craigslist color for the contact information. Write the text that you want to be changed, the color. Please respond via text at 800-555-5555, and then you're going to create your closing font tag. So again, the opening bracket with the /, the word font, and then the closing bracket. Okay, so after that I have this the center tag, which is just like these font tags, where you're going to be placing a bunch of information between the opening and closing tags. So what I have is a center tag here. And if you scroll all the way down to the end of my ad here, you can see the closing center tag. So what that means is anything between these two tags, the opening center tag and the closing center tag, is going to be centered. These are called the paragraph tags. You're just going to put an opening and a closing bracket and a P in it so that it creates the opening paragraph tag, and then over here you can see the closing paragraph tag. So anything in between this is considered part of the paragraph tag, and what that does is it creates its own space after the tag, so that it basically, like in a book, you'd have a paragraph with a space and then another paragraph. So it just sets it apart from the other text. But also you can see here again, I've used this font tag, which is nested inside of the paragraph. And the value I'm changing here is the size value, and you're going to put an equal sign and in quotes a number 5, which is a large font for Craigslist anyway. And then between the opening font and the closing font again is my text. The next couple sets of text that I have are enclosed between the opening and closing paragraph tags. And I do that basically all the way down for all the text that I have. So moving on to the actual images, the way you're going to be able to get these larger images on Craigslist, and so people can actually see what it is you're selling, you're going to want to open a Picasa account. And Picasa is Google's web albums that they have online, and you can upload all your pictures onto it. But what we're going to do, embed this image into Craigslist, and the way you do that is when you've opened that exact image that you want, you click this little blue link here. It says link to this photo, okay, and down here, you're going to click image only. We don't want to put a link in there. What we want to do is actually embed the image. This code right here is what you're going to actually highlight and copy. What I usually do is the 640 by 640 medium. It's a good all-around size. It's not too big for the computer and the browser to load. Doesn't take too long, and it just looks really good. So once you have all those settings set, you just highlight it. You're going to either right-click and copy, or Control C. Okay, and then you're going to come over here and you're actually going to paste it right here. And I'm going to highlight here what it is that will be pasted when you hit paste. You're not going to get the brackets or the quotation mark. You're only going to get pasted up to the end of the .jpeg, because that's the actual file location on Google's servers for Picasa of your file. So that's what you want, is just to paste that file location. And now I'm going to highlight what you need to actually hand type there before and after what you've just pasted onto the page. So this is called the image tag. And it's, again, another opening bracket with an IMG, which stands for image, okay? And then you want to put a space and an SRC, which stands for source, and that's basically the location. Okay, you put an equal sign and then a quotation mark, which is quoting the location of, the address that you have this image. So coming over to the end here, you're going to close with this bracket here, with this closing bracket here. That's closing the image tag. Again, all you're going to need is that closing tag after you put the quotes there after the JPEG to finish quoting the location of the file. Okay, and the way you get the actual spaces between the images after they're centered on your page is you're going to put these break tags here. And again, opening bracket, BR, closing bracket, that's just a break. And I put 2 there just to give me an extra space. And it's just like a line break, as if you hit enter on your computer. So instead of having these images fall in line, side by side, this break tag makes them fall in line one under another. So if you only had one break tag, basically your pictures would be butted up against each other, and I include a second break tag so that there's actually a space between the pictures. Okay, this is kind of rough HTML here. This isn't how I would do it if I was creating an actual website, but for Craigslist, this is what's needed. Let me show you here what it ends up looking like again. So this is the ad. There's the blue text that we've created with the font tag, and the value blue. Okay, remember that center tag centers all this information between the opening and closing center tags. This is my title that we had the font tag again with the value of 5, size equals 5 in quotes. Okay, and then all these were just between the paragraph tags, and so you can see it's created its own little line break underneath and made the next set of information fall below it rather than beside it. And everything is, it's centered and nice and perfect. And you can see these images are nice and big, nice and clear. So if somebody was interested in this coffee table, they could see exactly what they're getting. The image isn't pixelated. It's crystal clear, and they'd be able to make a better decision and basically fall in love with this product versus a couple small images that Craigslist provides to where you can't even see what the heck it is you're buying. Anyway, it's going to save you time in the long run, and it's going to save the buying party time, because they're not going to come over expecting something that, maybe it has a few dings that aren't showing up in the pictures or whatever. But anyway, that's it. That's how you create a better Craigslist ad versus the standard one. And I sell stuff on Craigslist all the time, and it's definitely worth it. I always get full price on my things because, and I think it's because the ads that I'm placing on Craigslist are top-notch, high-quality ads, and it shows off the product, to its fullest rather than looking like some piece of crap. So anyway, thanks guys.